Hey there, tech fans. Rick here again from Drone Valley. Today, I've got the Wavlink USB-C quad display 4K universal docking station for your laptop. This product can also be used with computers, but the beauty is this product provides connectivity for 4 external monitors for your laptop that allow you to instantly greatly increase your screen real estate by simply connecting it to your laptop through a USB-C connection. Now, before I get into all the cool features this product provides, I always like to start with a quick unboxing just to show you everything that's included, and Wavlink has given you everything you need to use this product right out of the box. And then I'll take a closer look at the unit because I want to show you the connections and indicators and all the features the product provides. I'll also do a quick demonstration to show you the connections you'll need to use this product with your own equipment, and then I'll come back at the end and point out a few things that really separate this particular docking station from a lot of other products you may be considering. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you first pop open the box, you'll find the dock, and it's a really nice looking dock. It's got rubber feet on the bottom, a little bit of weight to it, so you put it down on your desk, you know it means business. Included as well is a 180 watt power supply. You can simply plug this into the wall using the AC cord, and the other end of it has a barrel connection on it which plugs into the DC port in the back of the unit and provides all the power you'll need for operation. Now you might be wondering, why do I need a 180 watt power supply? This doesn't draw that much current, but that USB-C connection to your laptop is also a charging connection, so this unit provides 100 watts of PD charging for your laptop. And other docking stations on the market provide some level of charging, but it's typically 30 watts or 60 watts, which is plenty to keep your laptop running. But 100 watts will not only keep your laptop running, but it allows you to charge the battery. So when I come home from a long day on the road and I plug my laptop in and start working on it on my desk, I know when I leave in the morning, the battery's going to be fully charged. Also included is a USB-C cable for connection between the dock and your laptop, and it's not just a normal USB-C cable, it's a heavy-duty cable that on the one end has a USB-C connection with a little screw in the back of it here that tightens into the back of the dock, because normally if you're using a dock and you just plug a USB-C cable in, there's a lot of drag on that cable and you're always moving the other end around, plugging it into your laptop, and eventually you can either break the cable or it'll pull out of the port. Wavlink has thought about that, and they've actually built in this unit in the back with the screw on it, and they've included a screwdriver as well, so you can tighten this into the back of the dock and it's not going to pull out. On the other end, again, a clever cable here. You've got a USB-A connection if you've got an older laptop, or watch this. I'll pull the adapter off. It's a USB-C connection, so you can plug this into your newer laptop, and if you've got an older laptop, plug it into your USB-A port. So you're set to go there, and that's what I said. They've included everything you need to get started. Also, you'll find a full instruction manual that explains everything you could possibly want to know about the dock, and there's a QR code on there that you can scan to get more information if you need it. And then you'll need to download a DisplayLink driver, because most laptops can't natively support multiple external monitors. Like 4 monitors would be a big deal for a laptop to actually support natively. So this explains how to download the driver from the Wavlink website. Download it, install it, and you'll be ready to go. It takes about 30 seconds to download it and install it on your computer, and that'll enable your laptop to recognize 4 external displays, which is going to be really important. All right, so all of this is included in the kit. Now, next what I'd like to do is take a closer look at the dock and show you what's going on with that, show you the connections and all the indicators and everything else, do the demonstration, and then I'll come back at the end and point out a few key features that really separate this from a lot of other docks that I've tested. But before I do, let me just tell you some of the cool features that are built into this. For starters, the unit itself supports 4 external monitors, all of which can be 4K at 60 frames a second. That's an incredibly high resolution for multiple monitors. Most docks on the market may support external monitors and even multiple external monitors, but they're typically maybe one monitor's 4K and the rest are 1080p. This one, you can have 4 of them at 4K at 60 frames a second. So you're going to get crystal clear imaging on all your external monitors. Another key feature for the monitor connection is that this unit provides 4 HDMI ports and 4 display ports. So no matter what kind of monitor you've got a connection in the back where you can easily connect it up to the dock and start using those monitors. And boy, if you're using a laptop today, you know what I mean. You bring the laptop home from work, you sit down at your desk to do a little bit of work after work, and that screen is really small. And if you try to open multiple programs, it's hard to read the lettering and see the figures and stuff in your spreadsheets. So being able to extend that across large monitors, that up to 4 of them outside of your laptop, gives you all that additional screen real estate you need to open those programs in full screen mode, have multiple programs running at the same time, because maybe you're cutting and pasting information from an email into a Word document, or you've got a spreadsheet open, maybe you're scanning YouTube, I don't know what you're doing, but you've got plenty of room to open all those programs at the same time. time. In addition to that, the minute you make a connection between this docking station and your laptop, all of the ports on the docking station become active. And boy, this is jam-packed with ports. So for starters, you've got a USB-C port on the front that's used for charging, and that can provide up to 30 watts of external power. So if you need to charge something external, phone, tablet, whatever you're charging, up to 30 watts you can plug into the USB-C. It is a single USB-A that's a 3.1 USB standard, so it's a high-speed port. It's perfect for plugging in like an external drive, or you're plugging in something where you've got to transfer data back and forth. Use that USB 3.1. You'll also find 3 more USB-A 3.0 ports, which again are fast ports, but those are great for like a camera or a microphone or some other things that you may want to plug in through USB. So you've got 4 external ports plus the USB-C. You also have a headphone and mic jack there, so if you want to use a wired headphone or a microphone, you can plug them in right there. In front of this unit, you've also got 2 memory card slots. You've got a TF slot and an SD slot. So if you've got a camera you're using where you pull a memory card out and need to transfer the pictures over to your laptop, plug it in up front. But they're not just standard memory card slots, they're the latest standard for memory card slots, which is 4.0, which means you're going to get incredibly fast file transfers from that over to your laptop. And then finally, on the back, there's a hard-coded LAN connection. So you've got a LAN port in the back. Now, most docks out there have a 1 gig LAN because most home networks are 1 gig. We all know we're going to upgrade to 2.5 gig soon. Well, guess what? This dock's got a 2.5 gig LAN port on the back, which will downspeed to 1 gig. So if you're using a 1 gig network today, plug it in there. It's going to recognize that and downshift as it needs to for the 1 gig. But if you've upgraded to 2.5 gig or you're using it in a commercial environment that has a faster network, plug it in there. It's going to recognize that 2.5 gig and have lightning fast transfers across that network for you. So Wavlink has really thought about all the things you're going to want to do with the dock, and they've built them in this unit, and it's a beautiful unit. It's got an aluminum case on it. It's got this beautiful finish where it's sort of a textured finish on it. It's got a little bit of weight, so it's not going to slide around on your dock. It's got rubber feet on the bottom, so when you put it down, it's going to stay where you leave it. I really like it. I like it an awful lot. Now, if you stay tuned next, I'll take a closer look. I'll do the demonstration because it's really easy to use it, and then I'll come back and point out a few more things, or at least remind you of a few things that I just mentioned that you can use to compare this to other products you may be considering. The Wavlink dock features a chrome finish that's got a bit of a texture to it. It's a very professional look. On either side, you'll notice ventilation holes, and those keep the electronics inside very comfortable during operation because they allow any heat that develops to escape. On the front of the dock, starting on the left, you'll find a USB-C port, and that's a charging port you can use for external devices. So if you plug something in there, you can charge it up to 30 watts using the power supply that comes with the unit. To the right of that are 2 card slots that you can use with your TF or SD cards. Both of those are 4.0 ports, which means you're going to get really fast data transfers from your cards to your computer. To the right of that, you'll find a USB-A port, and that's a 10 gigabits port, which means you're going to get high-speed connectivity to any external peripheral you connect there. To the right of that is a power indicator. The minute you turn the dock on and add the power supply to it, that light will come on, letting you know it's ready to use. Finally, on the right, you'll find a 3.5mm jack that can be used for headphones and microphone. And that's really nice to have that on the front because if you're plugging in headphones, you don't want to go around back to try to find that connection. So really nice they put that on the front. On the bottom of the unit, you'll find some rubber along either side. This helps to protect the surfaces that are down on and keep this from sliding around during operation. On the rear of the docks where you'll make all your connections, starting on the left are the video output ports, and you'll notice you have both HDMI and DisplayPort options. So you can use the newer DisplayPort monitors if you have those, or the HDMI monitors if you have those. And I like that an awful lot because it gives me choice between, like I said, HDMI and DisplayPort. You can connect up to 4 monitors here, and it's using the latest version of the software to enable you to expand your desktop across all 4 monitors at the same time. To the right of that, you'll find 3 more full-sized USB-A ports right here, and these are USB 3.0 ports, and they're great for peripherals like maybe an external hard drive or a camera or a microphone. You can plug them in right there and use those. Below that, you'll find a LAN port that you can use for a hardwired connection. And the nice part again is when you connect your computer up, you immediately have access to a high-speed network. This is also a 2.5 gigabits a second port, which means a lot of these docks use the 1 gig port. This one has a 2.5 gig port, which is the fastest one right now in home networking. To the right of that, you'll find another USB-C port, and that connects to your laptop. It's a single connection, which enables all the functionality that this dock provides. So one connection to your laptop is all you need. To the right of that is a DC input port, and that's used with the included power supply. When you plug that in, it'll provide up to 100 watts of charging potential for your laptop, which means you can run your laptop. It'll charge it while it's plugged in. This also provides power for all the external ports as well. So if you're plugging USB-A things in here or on the front, that power will come from that single power supply. There's one power button right there you can use to turn the unit on and off by simply tapping it. And finally, to the right, there's a lock you can use with the cable to your desktop. If you're in a public setting, maybe at the office, and you want to protect this from somebody picking it up and taking it home with them, you can lock it to your desk right there. Pretty nice little unit. It really is compact, small, really easy to use, and it's got a beautiful finish in the outside that looks incredibly professional. Now I'll show you just how easy it'll be to use the Wavlink docking station with your own laptop. And the first thing you'll need to do is to download a driver that enables your laptop to recognize multiple external displays. And Wavlink has made that really easy for you by simply visiting this website. You'll find the drivers available for all the popular operating systems and the different versions of those operating systems. So simply find the one that matches your laptop and download and install that driver. Now for this demonstration, I have my laptop right here and I've already downloaded and installed the driver. I have the Wavlink docking station here, and I've got 4 monitors set up right over here that I'd like to use for extending my desktop so I can greatly increase my screen real estate. Now the first set of connections I'll make are from those monitors to the docking station, and I've already connected 4 high-speed HDMI cables to the monitors, and I'll plug those into port number 1, port number 2, port number 3, and finally port number 4. And one advantage this docking station provides is the fact that you can use HDMI connections or DisplayPort connections depending on your monitors. Okay, now I've got to connect the docking station up to my laptop using the included USB-C cable. I'll plug one end of that into the docking station and the other end into my USB-C port on my laptop. And finally, we have to add power to the docking station. You'll find a 180 watt power supply included. You'll plug that into a wall outlet. The other end of the cable from that power supply has a barrel connection on it, which plugs directly into the DC input port on the back of the unit. Now we're ready to go. I can turn on the docking station by tapping the power button, and I'll turn on my laptop. Now the laptop's going to take a couple of seconds to boot. In the meantime, the docking station is going through a power on self-test where it's checking the electronics internally. It's also checking the resolution of the monitors, and it's checking the resolution of my media device, in this case my laptop, to make whatever adjustments are needed to give you the best possible picture on those monitors. And this unit can support 4K content at up to 60 frames a second, which is pretty incredible. My laptop is coming up. The minute that finishes its boot sequence, you'll see my desktop across all 4 of these monitors. The nice thing about this too is that the docking station, because of that power supply, is actually charging my laptop. It's providing USB-C connectivity for my laptop, and it's taking video from my laptop across all 4 monitors. Now, I've got my wireless keyboard and mouse plugged into my laptop presently, and I want to show you that I can extend the desktop. I've already done that across these 4 monitors. So there's the cursor moving across the top, drops down to the bottom, and then moves back across. Now I've got that cursor comically large there just so you can see it on those screens. It wouldn't normally be that big. And I'll go back to my desktop. So you can already see, if I have multiple programs opened, I can move those across these monitors to give me a better view of that program, because one of the challenges with a laptop is the screen is small, and opening multiple programs on a small screen like that makes it really difficult to see the details in those programs. So being able to extend to 4 monitors externally gives me a lot more screen real estate to open those programs in full screen mode and really pay attention to the details. A couple of other advantages, as I mentioned, is the USB connectivity is also transferred through that USB-C cable. So I'll move the wireless dongle from my laptop over to the docking station, and you'll see that the mouse still moves. I've still got connectivity for my keyboard and mouse. The advantage there is that if this is on my desk, I can have a webcam connected to it, I can have an external hard drive, a printer, all connected to the dock. And when I come home from a long day at work, all I have to do is plug my laptop in with a single USB-C cable and take advantage of all those external peripherals in addition to the monitors that allow me to extend the desktop. So it's a great product for expanding your desktop, for expanding your connectivity, for powering your laptop. Pretty much everything you need is built into this box, and with a single USB-C connection to your laptop, you can take advantage of all of that. And it really is just that easy to get it working. I hope that closer look and demonstration were helpful. Now, I'd like to point out a few things that really separate this from a lot of other docking stations on the market, and I almost don't know where to begin because when I looked at this initially, I thought, okay, it's a docking station. I've tested a lot of docking stations on the channel. They all turn out to be about the same. Not with this one. What Wavlink has done here is they've taken all of the modern technology available in the market today and they've built it into this docking station. So you've got pretty much every leading edge tech you'll need for USB connections, charging, network interfaces. The display driver in there is the latest DisplayLink 6910, which is the latest chipset. So everything you'd want in a docking station is pretty much inside this unit. As I mentioned before, the big feature for me is that with a single USB-C connection to my laptop, I enable 4 external monitors that are all 4K at 60 frames a second. Most other docking stations on the market, if they support 2 monitors, one of them is 4K, the other's 1080, and you've got to kind of decide which of those monitors you want to look at. I like the fact that I've got a unit here that'll support 4K monitors on all 4 outputs. In addition to that, maybe you've got older monitors or newer monitors. Some are HDMI, some are DisplayPort. Well, this has ports for both. So you've got 4 full-sized HDMI ports and 4 full display ports on the back that you can use to connect up your monitor. So it gives you a lot of flexibility in the way you connect those external monitors. And again, through your laptop, you can organize how those monitors are set up. Some people like to have the laptop in the middle and 2 monitors on either side. With me, I like the laptop off to the left and the 4 monitors together, and that's how I did the demo. But it's up to you. You can reorganize it any way you want. In addition to that, once I connect it to my laptop, I don't want to have to fiddle around with plugging things into my laptop. So I want to make sure all the connections on my laptop are available on the dock, because typically I put this on a shelf. I should say this is on my desk. The cable is dangling down to a shelf below my desk. When I come home, I plug my laptop in, throw it on the shelf. I connect a wireless keyboard and mouse up to this through one of the USB-A ports, and I've got my 4 monitors. So essentially, I'm dealing with a regular computer because I'm using a keyboard and those 4 monitors in front of me. I don't want to have to go back to the laptop and plug things in. So you've got plenty of connections on here. On the front, you've got a USB-C that 30 watts of power is popped out of. So you can plug in your phone. Maybe you got home and your phone needs to be recharged. Plug it in there right in the USB-C. You can charge a tablet. Anything up to 30 watts you can charge through that USB-C port. In addition to that, I've got one USB-A port that's a 3.1. I use that for external hard drives and thumb drives where I've got to move a lot of data back and forth between my laptop and that particular storage medium. And then I've got 3 additional USB-A ports that are 3.0. So that's where I connect my camera, my external thumb drives maybe, or some other peripherals that I want to plug in, maybe a microphone. That's where I connect my keyboard and mouse. I've got a little wireless dongle that plugs in there. So I've got plenty of USB-A ports for external peripherals. In addition to that, I've got 2 memory card slots up front. Both the TF for the smaller one and the SD for the larger one. I shoot a lot of pictures with my camera, and having an SD card slot on there means I can pop that memory card out of my camera, pop it in the front. It's immediately recognized by my computer, and I can start transferring files. So all of that's built in. And then the final thing that's really impressive is the 2.5 gigabits port on the back for the LAN. Now I'm running a 1 gig LAN at home. That's plenty fast for me, but I know eventually I'm going to get pushed into that 2.5 gig space, and knowing the dock can handle the higher speed means I won't have to worry about upgrading it later on, and it down speed senses to a 1 gig network. So it really has everything I need in the dock, in addition to which this 180 watt power supply gives me all the energy I need to charge my laptop at up to 100 watts through that PD port, through that USB-C connection, and it's powering all my external peripherals because the disk drive is going to need a little extra power. If I'm plugging into camera, it might need a little power for the light. So this is going to cover the 100 watts to my laptop and still have 80 watts left over to power all those external devices that I'm plugging into the USB ports in front. So I have to say, I test a lot of docks. I was looking for a reason to pick on this one. I couldn't find one. Everything I'd want is in this dock. So I like it an awful lot. It does the job. If you've got a laptop or a couple of laptops where you're constantly switching back and forth for displays, this will do it with a single USB-C connection, and it provides all the connectivity I mentioned a minute ago. So I like it an awful lot, and I hope you've enjoyed this review. So thanks an awful lot for watching.